A very warm welcome to all of you to this session. Uh, the topic of today's session is personal wellness. I was just curious to know what is personal wellness according to you? I mean, if you can put that in the chat box, maybe Ankita can tell me a few answers. What is it according to you? Anything that comes to the top of your mind. It need not be right or wrong. Just your thought. What is personal wellness?
Okay, we have started to receive some answers.
Okay.
Amita is saying physical and mental wellness, staying happy and stress-free.
Very nice.
Maintaining our mental health is personal wellness.
Very nice. Right. Good. So
Happiness, fitness, mentally and physically. There are a lot of answers coming in, Shikha.
absolutely correct. So most of you have hit the bullseye. Personal wellness, I will cover a few very basic areas under personal wellness. This is not a full blown, very detailed presentation, but a very basic idea of what is personal wellness to all of us. What are the different dimensions, right, in today's lifestyle? How do you achieve those personal wellness goals? And how can you change certain habits in your life which will change to a different lifestyle? Yeah. So like most of you said, personal wellness is a deadly combination of body, mind and spirit. Health of the body, of the mind and the spirit, right? Practicing healthy choices in your life, right, to bring a balance in the lifestyle, right? And also and kind of coupling it with mental and spiritual well-being, right? In today's fast-paced life, especially that all of us are now working from home, right, there is enough and more stress added to it, because you have to, for the working professionals, you have to manage home and you have to manage office, right? So it's become like a double shift for each one of us. So hence, personal wellness becomes more important because you don't get that time to organize your breaks. Yeah. Now, moving on, these are the various dimensions of personal wellness, right? Some of them are internal, some of them are external. Can somebody tell me which of these are internal and which of these are external? Okay, I'll help you guys with
Emotion
that.
is internal,
Perfect.
spiritual and intellectual.
Perfect.
Environmental, social, vocational is external.
Correct.
Right.
Yep. So most of the answers, all the answers that you gave are correct. So these are the internal dimensions of personal wellness. Now, why are they internal dimensions? Because they deal with the mind, body, and spirit. And that's what I have called out here. It is related to the state of your body, mind, and spirit. While the other four dimensions that you saw on the previous slide are external, because they are related to the way you interact with the outer circle, right, or with the society. So we'll come back to that in a bit. Moving on, I will take you through these dimensions. The first one is spiritual wellness, correct? Now, for most of the people, what is spiritual wellness? It is religion, it is prayer, it is all of those things. But spirituality is much beyond, just prayer and religion, right? It is about your system or your values or your beliefs that give you a sense of purpose. It all relates back to the kind of upbringing, right? Since how have you been brought up as a child? What kind of values have been inculcated in you by your parents, peers, society, friends? All those elements come into place, right? And by being spiritually well, right, or by being adding the spirituality angle to the lifestyle, how do you cope up with day-to-day issues, stress, fatigue, all of that, right? So that is spiritual wellness. Now, I have given a couple of examples here, and it goes much beyond this. Now, some of you must be thinking, right, meditation, prayer, I can't go to the temple because it's locked down. We are supposed to be in a house arrest. How do I practice? Because some people really need a God's idol in front of them to pray, right? Some people find that peace or solace in a temple and not otherwise, correct? How do I be closer to religion? How do I be closer to God? So, what do we want to do during COVID times? God is everywhere, guys, right? We really don't need an entity or an institution where we want to sit down and pray. During COVID, what can you do? Right? Showing empathy, according to me, is one of the biggest means of attaining spiritual wellness. Now, we've been hearing a lot of stuff, right? There is, how can you show empathy? By helping others, right? There are various ways to help. I mean, we keep hearing in the news, right? There is a Prime Minister's Relief Fund. You can donate to that. You can be empathetic towards the people who are suffering from this. Whatever help you can provide in terms of financial help, in terms of moral support, right? That brings inner peace. That brings joy because you're giving back to the society. You're giving back to people who have been affected uh, by this pandemic, correct? Yoga is another thing that I have been a practitioner of late. It's just about 3 months, guys. uh, 20 minutes in the morning, right after the first hour, right? It helps you bring focus, concentration, and relieves a lot of stress. And in today's corporate world, where there is double pressure or intense pressure on all of us to perform even better, everything has become very technology centric. Murli and I were talking about that sometime back. Skype, Teams, Zoom calls, right? The human connect is missing. It's adding to more stress. So, how do you attain peace? Is probably through yoga. And that is my personal experience, which I thought I should share with the larger audience here. So, this is about spiritual wellness. I will move on to the next dimension. Is everybody okay with that? Maybe people can just respond to Ankita, yes, no. Okay, fantastic. I see people giving reactions. Uh,
Yeah.
Perfect. Great. Thanks. Okay. Uh, Moving on, physical wellness. Pretty easy to understand, right? Engaging ourselves in activities without physical strain. Now, physical wellness doesn't mean that, you have to do heavy exercising, right? You have to burn those calories. Physical wellness is about feeling good, about feeling well, about feeling healthy, energetic when you get up in the morning, right? It is about including a good diet, a good sleep pattern, right? And some amount of physical activity. To me, that is physical wellness. Yeah. And what happens when you are physically fit and fine, right? You feel energetic throughout the day. You're able to perform your tasks without any hindrances. The mind is at peace. I don't know if a lot of you would have heard, I have some people in my own network, right? When they're extremely stressed, they practice their favorite form of exercise. So I have a colleague who probably switches on the radio or some music and dances non-stop for 20 minutes. She sweats it out, right? Plus she's relieved. So it's your form of passion that you want to pursue. Some people enjoy cooking. So I've mentioned prepare a healthy meal. That burns out the stress, right? Some people enjoy doing a lot of activities, correct? It could be indoor. Now we cannot step out during COVID times, right? So that's what I've mentioned over here. You cannot hit the gym, right? So use your house as a place to keep yourself physically fit. Certain exercises which do not require too much of space, right? So small walk-arounds in your compound, gardens, lawns, without stepping out of your community, right? Some sort of physical activity. Beyond that, because COVID affects our immunity system, right? I mean, it's very easy for me to write over here, do eliminate alcohol and smoke. That we should anyway do in our uh, day-to-day lives if we are addicted to those. But what happens during this pandemic, right? There is a lot of stress on the respiratory system. So if we are consuming alcohol or we have the habit of smoking, it is only stressing the immune system and the respiratory system, right? So I think we should completely avoid that. Maybe we may want to pick up that habit back once we are out of this pandemic, preferably not, but if you still want to go ahead, it's up to you. Don't touch your face. I mean, it's something very common, right? But I was reading somewhere, the research says that an average individual touches his or her face 2,000 to 3,000 times a day, right? We all keep hearing it in the news. There is enough and more information on the internet that do not touch your face. So how can you bring that 2,000, 3,000 times a day of touching the face down to, say, 100, 200, right? Which saves you from falling into any disaster or any illness, correct? Uh, Eating healthy, yes, fruits, vegetables, whatever is available, uh, to the best of what is available in the market. I think that should be added as a part of the diet, correct? And during COVID, guys, it is even more important to be physically fit because you don't want to fall sick, you don't want to see the hospital, you don't want to fall into any sort of trap, and this is a vicious circle which has also led to deaths, right? All of us are seeing a lot of data which is available on the internet, so let's be safe rather than being sorry. Yeah, I mean, I can take questions if there are, otherwise we can move on. Can I see a thumbs up or a go ahead if you're okay? Okay, all right, thank you. Moving on, the next one that I captured was emotions. What is emotional wellness? People only think that, if you are sad, if you cry, if you're distressed, if you have a lot of stress, then you're emotionally unwell or emotionally unfit. It's not that. Emotional well-being is the ability to cope with all the stress that work, home, life brings to our day-to-day lives, right? Our interaction with other people, right, around us, it could be office, it could be home, it could be friends, family, right, leads to a lot of emotions are involved in that, right? So being attentive, whether you're moving towards negativity or positivity. To me, team here, mind is a very powerful tool, right? Whatever you think is what you can achieve. It's as simple as that. If you divert your mind towards positivity, towards positive emotions, positive feelings, positive behaviors, no matter how negative you are, you will slowly come out of that distress, right, and move towards positivity. It's how you think. It's about this theory of, is the glass half full or is the glass half empty, right? There is a glass of water which is half full. So some people see it as half full, some people see it as half empty. So the crowd which sees the glass half full is optimism. At least I have some water in the glass. There's something I can do with it. People who see half empty probably is pessimism. So it's all about your thoughts, how positively you're thinking, how you're driving your emotions to move towards positivity is all about emotional wellness. How do you do that? I have quoted a few examples, and I mean, you can practice any of this. To some people, music plays a great role, right, in terms of relieving stress, feeling happy, feeling joyful, playful, and all of that. Some people love to eat, right? There are stress eaters, then there are non-stress eaters. Some people eat a lot before the exams. Some people eat a lot before an important meeting. So it depends. What helps you feel emotionally well, what helps you feel positive, happy, is what you should do, right? There are people who have pets, right? Animal lovers. Pets are a great source of stress relieving, right? Favorite movie, sunset, and all of that. Now somebody might be thinking over here in this webinar, how do you play with the pets, right? Pets are outside the house probably. They could bring in some germs and stuff like that. So yeah, what you can probably do during the COVID cycle is a couple of suggestions here, right? Uh, to me, the most important out of the three that I have listed over here is virtually connect with your loved ones. There is a lot of freeware available, right? You have Zoom, you have WhatsApp video calls, you have Google video, all of that. You know you cannot travel, you know you cannot meet them. Don't let physical distance bring distance in your relationships. I think that is the most important. Whether it's an important friend to you, whether it's family or relatives, I think just because we are in the lockdown phase, that should not bring distance in your relationships, right? Please virtually connect, talk to whoever you like talking to, and that person brings happiness, joy to your life, right? Build additional skills. For me, learning is not a goal. Learning is a journey. I see off late a lot of people doing a lot of certifications, courses, learning, virtual meetings, and stuff like that. But then this should not stop once we are out of the pandemic. Learning is a journey. All of us learn lifelong. So whatever is your area of interest, when I say skills, I'm not necessarily referring to technical skills, domain skills, soft skills, and all of that, soft skills and all of that, right? It could be any of these. It could probably be even a passion of yours. Let's say somebody wanted to become a photographer, right? But he or she hasn't found the time to do so. Now with the work from home model, right, you may want to pursue that passion of yours, right, through some online courses or attending some virtual workshops and stuff like that. Emotionally being well refers to doing what you love doing in your life, which leads to positive behavior, positive attitude, good health, and happiness. That's how I would sum up in emotional wellness. Yeah. Uh, Moving on, the last one, the last of the internal dimensions that we have here, intellectual wellness. What do we understand by intellect? Intellect is associated with brain. Yeah. So what is intellectual wellness? It is the ability to, recognize your hidden talents or your unique talents, right? With the way of by using knowledge and skills. There are times that when we have not got the time to do a lot of stuff that we want to do. I will give you a very classic example, right? Some of us are really interested in doing, I don't know, Sudoku, say for example, or quiz. So involve yourself in activities or tasks which are challenging, which tickle your brain, which prompt you to think, to focus, time, speed, efficiency. A lot of guys, a lot of people, not guys, sorry, a lot of people play games on the internet, right? Video games, online games, and stuff like that. I have a majority of population who tells me it's such a waste of time. Why do you even do it, right? To me, if you ask me, playing games, online video games, and I personally do that because I love playing some of these. right? It brings in that speed in life, or that focus, because what happens when you play a game? You always want to win. You want, in the leadership dashboard or in the leader dashboard, you want to see yourself in the top 3. So you will do all that it takes to win that game. So that brings in sharpness of the mind, agility, speed, focus, concentration. So that is what is intellectual wellness. It also means, right, when you encounter or when you meet, whether virtually or physically, new people, how to accept their ideas, how to expand on their ideas, how to learn from their ideas or from their knowledge. Some of the activities that I've mentioned over here are just, examples. Like I said, reading, doing challenging tasks. To me, that could be difficult. I mean, quizzes, puzzles that you want to solve, maybe Sudoku, participating in debates, virtual debate competitions, elocution contests, all of that. These are just examples, right? Participating in events. Now, everything is just virtual. Scholastic, cultural. Scholastic is referring to, if I have as an audience, right, people who are in college, university, right, those competitions that I'm referring to, which stimulate mental health. It's just keeping the brain active. Now, during COVID, how do you want to do this? Like, all of us are connecting right now, virtual webinars. Learning never stops. You can learn from any channel, any means, any medium, right? It could be a webinar, it could be a conference, it could be a professional development course online, it could be a networking event. We all learn from each other every day, every single moment. But yes, what happens is virtual professional events, right, give you a larger platform to interact with a larger group, right? And get more ideas, get more knowledge, expand on it, build on it, and stuff like that. Yeah. So those were the 4 dimensions of wellness, personal wellness, right? Internal, because they're related to the body, mind, and spirit. Yeah. Can I move to external dimensions if everybody's good? Okay. Thank you. Now, maybe on the chat box, can somebody tell me why are these called external dimensions? Vague guesses. I don't need any, there's no right or wrong answer or no perfect answer. Okay.
I think we are not even. Can you repeat the question, Shikha? Maybe once more.
Sure. I'm asking the audience, can somebody tell me why are social, environmental, vocational, and financial wellness components called external? We just went through the internal dimensions. Why are these called external? Yeah, I think. No worries on that. I can help you. If you guys remember, in the beginning of my presentation, I said internal is connected with mind, body, and soul, spirit, right? Mind, body, and spirit. External will be connected with society, the external world, the people you interact with, right? Our behavior is influenced by the people around us, correct? It could be friends, family, colleagues, mentors, coaches, right? So our behavior is influenced by all the external uh, factors, people, the external world, and how we interact with them. That is why these dimensions are called external dimensions. I'll take the first one, social. What is social wellness? In simple words, you can choose not to read this, it's absolutely fine. In simple words, it's having a great support system of friends and family, a healthy circle, right, of colleagues, friends, family, a very healthy circle, a very healthy network, which provides you very good stimulation. You feel happy being with them, you know, they influence you in a positive manner. So having a good social circle is about social wellness. That is all social wellness is, nothing more. Correct? So some of the ideas that I have mentioned over here is, since we cannot step out, I still insist on virtual connects, right? Call a long distance friend, right? Catch up. There are a lot of these colleagues of mine, right, who've started doing virtual lunch meetings, virtual coffee meetings, right? A quick 20 minutes chat over a cup of coffee. Everybody's on Zoom. I think that stimulates happiness. Correct? You feel good talking to people. You feel good being connected. Everybody is around you, though they are not around you physically, but yes, they are around you while they're with you on the call. Attending seminars, conferences, webinars, and stuff like that. Seminar post-COVID, webinar during COVID. Also, social wellness talks about meeting people who you have never met. So, which means networking, growing your network, meeting new people so that you can develop professionally, personally, because a new person will always in your lives, right, will bring in new ideas. Yeah. Now, what is the COVID stance? The COVID inspiration or the COVID stance over here is, we cannot meet anybody. We have to continue practicing social distancing so that we are out of this pandemic. Life is back to normal. Yes, it's a long journey. It's going to take a couple of months, probably this entire year, and 2021 we start with a bang again. But yes, with your close network, no matter you, even if you're facing technology challenges at one point in time, don't give up. Please connect with your close network, right? And if you are meeting people, no handshakes, just no hugs, no high fives, nothing. Just a simple namaste, yeah, will do, right? Maintain distance. And if you are going out in public, we've heard this enough and more, wear a mask or a bandana, wash your hands as soon as you're back. And the guidance, minimum guidance around washing hands is at least 20 seconds. Rub those hands so that all the germs flow away with the water and you're safe. Beyond this, I think another thing that I would recommend is people who use specs, right? Instead of that, if you can use contact lenses, that'll be even better, because even the specs can attract germs. Yeah. So those are the ideas that you can probably adopt during uh, COVID, right? During this pandemic situation. And yeah, I think these are the ones that I can quickly think of. And then there's much more you can do. But then, yes, connecting with your network, either professional or personal, should not stop, right? Virtual connect has to happen. It is very important for everybody's wellness. See, the virtual connect will give you emotional wellness, will also give you spiritual wellness, will also give you social wellness, right? Our friends, family, colleagues are our lifelines. Those are the support system for any individual. Yeah. So that's my take on social wellness. Moving on, financial wellness, money, right? Uh, it's a most important factor in our lives because it is a baseline which helps us lead, a certain lifestyle, right? Ability to effectively manage your finances. What is our finance? Income and expenses, right? Money plays a very, very critical role. And if you are short of money, if anyone is short of money and we need it, or there's an exigency, or there is a need and we don't have it, it leads to anxiety, big time anxiety, fear, and stress. Because you need it for a certain purpose and you're not able to achieve it because your financial wellness is not in place. So, a couple of ideas here. Yeah, always, like, we do in our professional lives. When we start our day, we plan our day, we list down the top 3 or the top 4 priorities that we have to fulfill for the day, right? Even on the financial side, it is very important to come up with a budget, right? You can decide whether you need a weekly budget or a monthly budget, whatever works for you, so that you know what is your expenditure for the month, right? Very important thing, defining wants and needs. What is a need? Need is something which is very basic in life. You cannot survive without a need. Food, clothing, and shelter, for example, are basic needs. Wants, I want an ice cream. Wants could be, wants the wish list, right? I want something. But then, does my financial situation permit me to buy that? I want an iPad. I want an iPod, right? So wants are wish list. Certain percentage of your income should be parked under savings, right? That is the only way to manage finances. Donating to a meaningful charity. When I say that, it personally brings a lot of satisfaction to me when I give back to the society. So, and this has been there for very many years. Team, whoever is on the audience team here, it's been there for very many years, not COVID, for about more than a decade. There's some portion of my income that I would donate to a particular. There are 2-3 organizations I'm associated with, and I would want to continue doing that till the last breath, right? So it brings in personal satisfaction, but then to be able to do that, each one of us has to manage our finances well. What's the COVID inspiration here? Yeah, save. If you're saving 10% of your finances, save a little more than that. I don't know, 20%, 24, 25%, 30%, to cater to exigencies or emergencies. God forbid, you should not land up into any of this situation. But if, then we need finances to deal with the crisis, right? Manage the financial stress. Like I said, differentiate between needs versus want. What is a basic need is not compromisable, but a want is always a wish list. If you cannot fulfill it this month, probably next month, right? Help others who are in financial stress. Now, most of you must be thinking, I can only help if I have enough for myself. To me, actually, it doesn't work that way. Even if I don't have enough for myself, I would still take a small, maybe a 2% or a 3% of whatever finance I have available with me and park it with somebody who is much, much, much needier than I am, right? It gives a different sense of satisfaction. This also stitches with your spiritual wellness, because it brings happiness, it brings peace, it brings, a feeling of, making somebody smile at the end of the day. Yeah, I don't have too much. Whatever I have, I will take a certain portion of that and help somebody else who's in greater need than I am. So that's how I would describe financial wellness. If everybody's okay, I'm going to move on to the next slide. Vocational. Now, this occupies the largest probably portion of our life or of our day, right? It is about satisfaction, fulfillment, feeling good from the work you do. Most of us are associated with different organizations, corporate, non-corporate, right? So the work that we do, the tasks that we perform, or the role that we are playing, right, should give us satisfaction. That is wellness. If you're not happy with your job, don't crib, just leave, right? Or look for something else and then move on in life. Because cribbing or paining with the role that you're playing doesn't help. It actually, what should I say? It actually harms. It harms your internal wellness factors, right? Health, mind, body, spirit, because you're distressed. So to me, vocational wellness is absolute satisfaction from the work you do. While you are also finding time to manage work and life. Bring a balance, right? Find time for your hobbies, activities, build relationships. You love working with your co-workers, right? It's a great team, it's a great environment, there's a lot of positive energy, and there is no stress at the workplace. So if all these factors are stitched together, then guys, you are actually working in a very wonderful environment, right? It what does it do? You feel happy, you feel great about it. When you talk to other people in your network, you always say, hey, look, I'm a part of WinWire Technologies, which gives me that kind of exposure, right? Everybody is willing to help. We're all one team. We pitch in against each other. There are no lines between HR, and I'm telling you this from my personal experience. There is no divide between what is HR, what is L&D versus what is recruitment. All these teams roll up into one big function, though there are different leaders managing it, but we are all one team, and we pitch in to help each other to upskill each other whenever it is required. That is the synergy that this whole team has, right? Some of the examples that are there in my presentation here: attend a career fair, networking events, which, like even I said in a while back, that adding new people to your network, to your life, right? Especially professional network, brings in a lot of professional development in your own lives, right? Finding a work-life balance, right? So work is hectic, we all know that, but maybe we can shell out some time over the weekend to pursue our passion. Yeah, I love, so for example, I don't, but for example, I love playing musical instruments and I have a synthesizer at home. Maybe Monday to Friday, I don't get time to do it, but maybe a Saturday I can pick up and pursue that passion. Yeah. Uh, Professional goals and join groups in your respective field. It is absolutely important to have professional goals in life. I have always believed there is a difference between having a job versus having a career. And I will explain this to you. I will take a moment and tell you what I'm trying to say. Having a job is somebody, who has a job, goes to the office, fulfills his daily tasks, blah, 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 monthly targets, comes home, which gives him a salary, his household is running, they're good. That is having a job. Having a career means you aspire to achieve, you aspire to grow, right? And you look at different avenues which will help you grow professionally, right? It could be through self-learning, it could be through skilling, upskilling, it could be through networking. It also could be the potential or the ability to show that you're ready for the next level, right? You're operating at a next level role, right? You're capable of doing the next level role. So that is the difference between having a job is just doing your job and finishing it off. Having a career is aspiring to do something in life and working towards it. Yeah. During COVID times, what can we do? Use digital means to build a home office, right? Since all of us are working from home, right? There are a lot of disturbances, and it is but natural, and that is going to be the new normal, right? There are, I mean, you will see family people in the background and stuff like that, which is okay probably. But as a best practice, what you can do is you can set up a home office. And when I say you can set up a home office or build a home office, is make sure you're connected to all the necessary tools that you need, right? Uh, you are probably sitting in an environment which is office compliant, which is away from environment. It could be a room, it could be a study, it could be any place in the house which is slightly secluded from the rest of the house to keep you away from disturbances, so that you can perform your job or your tasks to the best of your ability, right? To me, focus is very important. If I have to work on important assignments, and my team at office knows that, and I'm sure lots of you practice, I probably put the DND, do not disturb mode, on my messenger, so that for that 1 hour or half an hour I'm not distracted. I have anyway set up a home office and talking to you from there, right? And yeah, so those are some of the best practices which will enable you to perform your role to the best of your ability and to the best of the expectations from the role. Yeah. Seek online consultation or professional development instead of face-to-face meetings. Yes, we all said we are completely dependent on technology, right? There is nothing that is happening in person. There is no human connect. We are not meeting anybody. Our offices are closed, right? We continue to operate from home. So leveraging on technology is the key. When I also say online consultation, let's say you are working on pieces of assignment which you have never done before, right? You want to invent or explore something new in your job work. So there are these lot of professional consultants or online forums which will give you information on the subject matter that you're looking at. So leverage on those if you can for better output that you would want to produce as a part of your assignment that you're planning to do. So this is occupational, vocational, you can call it whichever way you want, right? Deriving ultimate satisfaction from the work that you do. Yeah. Now, moving on, environment. Yes, this refers to our surroundings, the place we stay, home, office, everywhere. Yeah, and it plays a very, very important or integral role. It's a very integral role, correct? We have to make sure that we maintain. Earth is our planet and it's our responsibility, right? It by protecting it, right, you're bringing in harmony, right? You're also leading a healthy lifestyle. You're raising consciousness, yeah, consciousness, environmental consciousness raises awareness for healthy living. Your surroundings are clean, right? Your home office is clean. You have decluttered. You're organized. This is environmental wellness. Some of the examples related to our environment outside the home, right? Pollution, violence, littering, right? We should all avoid that. Recycling is a good method to the extent possible that we can do. Once we are back to the new normal, if carpool is a possibility, I think we should explore that rather than each one of us driving our own vehicle, adding to the pollution, adding to the traffic and stuff like that. Yeah, use natural resources. When I say natural resources, very simple: water, electricity, blah blah blah. Let's practice in our daily lives. You know, when you leave a room and if you're using the light and the fan, right, you switch it off before you do that. When you're in an office space, you switch off your printer, you switch off your laptop, you switch off the AC or the lights, and then leave, right? These are best practices. So we should conserve natural resources. Yeah. What is the COVID inspiration? Like I said, organize, decorate, declutter your home office. And trust me, I will tell you from my personal experience. When we started working from home way back in March, I used to sit on a bed, right? Sit on the bed, you have the laptop on your lap and start working. What I realized over a few days, say about 3-4 days, right? One, it's not a very comfortable uh, posture or a position. So ergonomics play a big role, right? So look for the right chair, sofa, a couch or table, right? That is required for you to operate effectively, right? Physical posture of the back and stuff like that is very important. Plus the environment around you should be neat and clean, right? When I say neat and clean, I'm not referring to, you know, litter being thrown around. It should look like your office at your office, right? It only has the tools that you need to operate during your working hours, and everything is out the door. Yeah. Again, save natural resources wisely and engage in your own personal garden. Now, the reason I have put that here is because we cannot go out, right? You just cannot step out of the house. So a lot of people have this habit of maintaining a small garden at home. If you have that, please engage in that kind of activity. Plants bring a lot of positive energy. Yeah, if you have it in your balconies, if you have it in your lawn, right, practice some sort of gardening, take care of them, look at their health, right, which all brings back positive, because plants inhale, exhale a lot of negative energy, right? So it's important to look after them. Yeah. So this is on the environmental wellness. uh, Now, how do you achieve these goals? Okay, let me just go back. So we've looked at 4 internal dimensions, we've looked at 4 external dimensions. All these 8 dimensions are very important for personal wellness. And if you notice during the presentation or while I'm speaking, one is connected to the other. Say, for example, your vocational or your occupational wellness, if that is taken care of, automatically your emotional wellness will fall in place, because a lot of our emotions are related to what happens at work. Yeah, if you're doing well, you're receiving appreciation, your boss is happy, I mean, your teams are happy, automatically you are happy, right? That leads to positive energy, which gets translated in your interactions with the others at home or in friend circle, correct? So all these dimensions are related to each other. One impacts the other, correct? Now, how do you achieve these goals? I have just put very, very simple points, nothing very complicated. The first thing is to set a SMART goal, correct? The first of the month, right? Let's say somebody wants to lose weight, wants to feel physically fit. I will start next month on the 1st of June, 1st July, 1st August. That first of the month for most of us doesn't come. So don't set a goal which is very difficult to achieve. Set a small goal which is achievable, right? So that you can start. The start is important. The journey is important. Yeah. Stay focused. If you still want to achieve a bigger goal, break it into small milestones. Say you have a 30 days target of physical wellness, for example, right? Uh, Break it into milestones every week, right? There are 4 weeks in a month. Every week, what is it that you want to achieve? And monitor your progress on a weekly basis. So you know how you did week 1 versus week 2. Are you getting better in week 2 or have you got worse? Right? Do you need to improve certain things? Mix it up. Don't get stuck. So keep alternating. You know, juggling, right? A juggler keeps juggling with various balls, right? 2, 3, 4, right? In recruitment, since I'm from talent acquisition background, a lot of us, you know, we work on these open demands. Now, for example, I have 3 demands. I've got bored of it, right? Or my team says, Shikha, these 3 are just too, it's not happening. Can you add 2, 3 more to my kitty? So they keep juggling between these requirements. It gives them variety. It gives them flavor, right? It takes them out of the boredom and closures become faster, right? So mix up your personal wellness goals. Don't take all 8 at a time. Maybe start with 2 or start with 3. Do a combination, what you want to achieve, and then take it forward from there. Yeah. Enough sleep. I know it's a very basic point. Um, the olden times or the yesteryears, the thought was an ideal sleep duration is 8 hours. Today that has become 7 hours. With our corporate lives, it has become 6 hours. And I think some of us only sleep for 5 hours because we're all managing UK, US customers, we have conference calls in the night, we're not getting enough sleep, and there is enough and more stress in life due to especially work from home. Having said all of that, a minimum number of hours of sleep is very important. You can decide what is good. Everybody has a different metabolism, different sleep pattern. So if 5 hours is good for you, it has to be 5. It cannot be 4. If 7 hours is good for you, it has to be 7. After a good night's sleep, you will notice that you will wake up with high energy and you will feel fresh. Yeah, so that is the importance of sleep, right? Write it down, schedule. So we all have this habit of whatever you write down, you tend to achieve. You write it down, once you achieve it, right? Then you put a tick mark, so it's done. So whichever goals you are taking up as a part of your personal wellness, keep following them. And like I said, at every milestone, whatever you have achieved, keep writing it down and move on. You know, move on to the next milestone. That's how it is. One of the things that has worked for me is a buddy system, whether it is at work or whether it is in my personal life, right? Identify from you. I'm sure you have a lot of network, uh, friends, family, relatives, colleagues, anybody who subscribes to the idea of personal wellness, right? Fitness, right? Who wants to be a part of this journey along with you. Why not? So then you have healthy competition. It's the two of you. It drives you, it motivates you rather than you doing it alone. You have a buddy who's with you in this journey. Your progress versus his or her progress makes a lot of sense, right? Hold each other accountable. Keep checking on him and he checks on you, and vice versa. I think that's a beautiful example of also a teamwork. And together, whether it's two of you, three of you, or four of you, together everybody achieves. Together everybody succeeds. So these are just small tips. You can add a lot of other stuff as to how you want to achieve. But I thought, to me, these are the six most important ones. Uh, there is a lot of other stuff that you can do. Learn to say no, for example. Yeah. Learn to say no to things you don't want to do, you don't want to imbibe, you don't want to do, right? Uh, Say, for example, you don't. I mean, you have a target of physical wellness, right? Maybe you want to lose some 5 kgs and stuff like that, and you have an ecosystem around you. You're at home, who promotes you, or who uh, not promotes you, who compels you to, taste some nice food and calorie stuff and all that. Say no. You have to stick to your plan. You have to stick to your goal. Just learn to say no in a very polite manner, right? And another thing probably that you probably can follow, don't procrastinate. Just do not procrastinate. Let's say if after first week you realize you have not achieved or you have failed, do not let that setback break you down. It's okay. It did not happen the first week, it will happen the second week. The motivation has to be on. The self drive, the enthusiasm, the willingness to achieve your goal has to be there. It's okay. It's okay to fail. Just try till you succeed. And it's all in the mind. Willpower. All that it takes to achieve anything in life, forget wellness, right, is willpower. You make up your mind, you can do it. I think last bit of my presentation, yeah, that's the last one. How changing certain habits can change your lives. So I've very articulated it in a very simple manner. When your physical and environmental pair are optimized, they lead to good health, right? When your mental and financial parameters, wellness goals are optimized, they lead to wealth, right? Emotions and social connect lead to happiness. Spirituality and occupation lead to harmony. And that's what I said a while back. If you're doing well at work, right, you are at peace, you are happy, you're positive, that energy flows, so that automatically takes care of your spiritual or your wellness goal. Yeah, I think that's what brings me to the end of my presentation. I hope you enjoyed listening to it, and got some insights. I'll be happy to hear from anybody on the session.
Thank you so much, Shikha, for such a wonderful session. I think we don't have much time, but in case we have any questions, we have like one or two questions we can have it. If
Sure.
anyone, is interested in asking any questions, you can use the chat box and ask questions. A lot of positive comments coming in.
Thank you.